This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, AMC Theaters feuding with Universal Pictures. The Venom sequel gets a new release date and a really shitty title. The Oscars changing their tune about streaming-only movies, and there's no butts on Disney+.
Lame.
Well, at least not Daryl Hannah's butt. Plus, a review of the latest Netflix action movie, Extraction, and a whole bunch more. All in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, April 30th, 2020.
You know who this is, and you know why you're here. You want all the latest comic book and superhero TV and movie news, and by God, you found it. Forget everything else out there. Forget all the Scientology bullshit. This is the real deal. This is the real deal. Worship at the feet of the holy trio of geekdom, the Jock and Nerd podcast. Play it.
Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up. Jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We jockin', we nerdin'. We funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. We jockin', we nerdin'. We spoiler alert.
Yeah, what's up, listener? Thanks for tuning in, and welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And he's the rug boy. What's up, you puppety fuck?
What's up with my... I don't know. What's up with me?
Yes.
What's up with my puppetiness? I'm a uppity man.
The uppity puppet's name is Rug Boy. How you guys hanging in? We're still, nothing's changed. It's still world.
It's the coronavirus.
It's the corona. We're COVIDing together. Anthony, how's the at-home workouts going on? It's one question I had.
Yeah,
not too much.
I have a 25-pound plate.
Yeah.
I have a 53-pound kettlebell.
Nice.
So I use those two things, and then today I went for a run, which I never do. So it's been going okay, I guess.
Do you use like TikTok videos as inspiration while you're working out? That's what I picture.
No.
You got the TikTok going, and you're just fucking
Although
kettlebells.
learning a dance, it takes me about 20 to 30 minutes. That's a good workout,
Wow,
too.
that is a good workout. Dancing.
Because the dance just keeps looping over and over, so you never stop until you really learn it.
Dancing is a fucking, that'll get your heart rate going.
Yeah.
Ruggs, are you exercising? I am not.
If drinking beer is exercising, yeah, I'm doing that.
I'll allow it.
I'm not really drinking bourbon because it's expensive.
Yeah. Good. Get the nice cheap buzz
You can
going.
get some cheap slits and just keep yourself fucked up for a long period of time.
Do you guys see any crazy face masks out there yet? I've seen a couple of nutty ones.
Well, I got a ninja mask. I didn't see anything crazy, though.
You got a ninja mask? That's amazing.
On Amazon, you could order like a 10-pack of ninja masks.
I saw one on the internet that has like a hole in it for smoking. I want that one. It probably does not, it's not going to work, but at least I could smoke.
I want like the Shredder helmet to go with my ninja mask.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
A Bane one would be cool.
Oh, a Bane mask would be great. I saw like this one lady had one side all jeweled and bedazzled, but not the other side. So I didn't know if it was done.
What's the point?
I don't know. I don't know if it was done. But all this is to say, listener, at our merch shop at TeePublic, if you go to jockandnerd.com/shop, they are now offering face masks with any of our designs.
Oh, shit.
Jock and Nerd. Meaning you could get a Jock and Nerd
great idea.
logo on your face. However, currently, it's out of stock.
Whoa.
But, yeah, they sold out. But I'm sure that...
Of our face?
No, just masks in general.
Oh, okay.
Like,
imagine you could just wear a mask of me on you.
You could put the Rug Boy design. You could choose any of our designs and put it on the mask. But they've offered this to all the TeePublic shops, Anthony. So obviously the demand was high. They're like out of stock of masks, but they will get more. So I'll put a link in the show notes. Get a face mask. You're going to need a couple. Like you're going to need at least 3 to switch through, right? You can't just have the one. I need things.
You got to wash them, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I need one to go to parties. I need one just hanging out.
How do you wash them? You put them in the wash machine, or you just put them into the sink and scrub them?
I throw them in the wash.
Throw them in the washing machine.
Yeah.
Make sure that shit is sanitized.
So you have cloth washable, reusable masks.
I do, yeah.
And where did you get them? Out of curiosity, you just get them online or something?
Yeah, well, mine are like American flag ones because America. So, yeah, I bought them online and just had them shipped.
I'm pretty sure that violates the flag code, Anthony.
Oh, shit.
You can't wear the mask on your face, can you? I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
I don't know.
We'll have to go to the code.
Safety first, before the flag.
I have the medical ones because my mom, she's had many surgeries. She's always in and out of the hospital. She just had a few left over. So she had some. I got some for me and the wife.
Can you wear Halloween masks?
I don't know. Sure, why not? Put a filter in there.
I just want to wear my Halloween mask. I'll just go out there. I have like President Reagan I can wear.
Oh yeah, you go like all the masks from Point Break. You can wear those masks. Yeah, why
I can
not?
do that.
From the Land of Confusion video from Genesis. All those masks.
Yeah, all those masks.
Meantime, just check our shop. Get a Jock and Nerd face mask. Throw it in there with your other accessories in quarantine time. Yes. All right. Let's get to the news.
The Jock and Nerd Podcast.
I'm dying to get your thoughts, you guys, on this week's big story. There's a feud going on. There's feuding in the entertainment world between the world's largest theater chain, AMC Theaters, and a Universal, and it's getting spicy. AMC Theaters now refusing to play Universal films ever.
Oh, shit.
After comments Universal made about how successful releasing Trolls World Tour on video on demand was. It made they're saying the movie made $100 million in about 3 weeks. And that's about what the original movie made in the theaters when it came out. And so the guy from Universal, basically his comments were, these results exceeded our expectations, demonstrated viability of PVOD, which is premium video on demand. He's like, this is the new normal. As soon as theaters reopen, we expect to release movies on both formats. Well, AMC did not like this, and they said, we're not playing your movies anymore. And then a few days later, Regal Cinemas also joining in, refusing to play Universal movies.
It's like somebody whose house burnt down saying, you'll never be allowed in my house again.
Yes, so this is what I want to know, because I see both sides, and I'm torn, because initially I was like, well, this seems kind of childish from
$100
AMC.
million, that's not going to happen every time. That might be like a higher average.
Well, this is right on their point. This is a special situation. Everybody being locked down. It was a $20 rental. And so it's kind of high for those rentals. So yes, it made $100 million that way, but that's only because of the situation. You can't say that this is the new normal going forward.
I have a couple thoughts.
Okay.
Full breakdown on this.
Give it to us.
A full tone down.
Tone down. That's tone down. Well, I need to make a fucking spot for that now.
So I think Universal's obviously pleased with the results. They're also thinking, not only long term that theaters might go out of business, and this is kind of the first step to doing that and just eliminating them.
Yeah.
But also that people might be afraid to go to theaters for a bit.
Sure. So
even if theaters open up, they're like, let's just do both at the same time, simultaneously. So I could see their point.
Yeah.
Movie theaters are definitely going to be pissed off, because if you release things at home, a video on demand, that's obviously going to cut into your business.
Yeah.
They've also probably made, as AMC mentioned, agreements with these big studios, like, hey,
yes,
you're going to put these in our theater. This is how we kind of live, and now you're undercutting us. And as they put it, not having good faith negotiations on this. So I see both points. I don't think. I do think, in one sense, Universal's kind of in the wrong, because especially if they have a contract agreement with the major movies.
Well, they said they're going to put them out in the theaters and on VOD at the same time, which is something.
But I don't think those were.
That's not in the contract.
I think First Look was the theaters, right?
Right. Yeah. So I think, in this sense, although it's a unique time, I think Universal is more in the wrong.
Yeah.
But as Rugg has mentioned, if theaters don't exist after this, then this is all a moot point. But
on the counter,
there's a lot to digest.
I know. On the counter of that, AMC was, remember we talked about how they were like, we may have to file for bankruptcy, and I'm pretty goddamn sure that the movie theater landscape will be absolutely different. Like, there will not be as many screens once things come back.
I agree with that. I think that people still are going to want to get out, but it's not going to be as many people.
And Universal got to keep about 80% of the fucking profits.
Oh, shit.
Whereas when it goes through the theater gets a cut and they get, so it was more profitable for them to do it this way.
Now, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Because it's not clear in the report. Is it just domestic? Because if it's just 100 million in America, that's a lot of money. If it's 100 million worldwide, then it's not really that big of a percentage.
It's 100 million North America.
Whoa, that's a big number.
That's a big, but
they did really well.
But that's only because families are stuck at home and they want something new, and it was there. I think in a normal situation, it wouldn't have made $100 million.
That's a high number. Yeah. I think that realistically, if we ever go back to theaters, that number is going to be a lot lower, maybe like 50 million. So
I just there's points to both sides, and I don't know who's in the wrong. So let's just say that they go through this. AMC, we're never seeing Universal movies ever again. What are we missing? Oh, only such huge franchises as your Fast and Furious, your Jurassic Worlds, your James Bonds, your Despicable Me's, your Minions, and they've created a lot. I mean, it's a huge movie studio.
Universal's one of the big six. It's not a small movie studio.
However, on the other point, I feel like the movie studios have been trying to pull this off for
They're going to be on the cock.
They've been trying the Peacock, yes, which you can get now if you're a Comcast Xfinity subscriber.
NBC is Universal, the same company.
It's NBC
right?
Universal, which also owns Comcast and Xfinity. So this is a huge fucking conglomerate. I mean,
Comcast they're swinging their cock right now.
Comcast can open up their own theaters if they want, just to play the Universal movies. These are huge franchises that maybe Fast and Furious has 2 more movies out. Jurassic World. Do you know what the third movie's called? By the way, I kept forgetting to mention this.
No, what is it?
It's called Jurassic World Dominion. Like that?
Floppy jock.
Yeah, it's all right. Dominion. Fast and the Furious 9 and 10 is supposed to be coming out. So right now, whenever movie theaters open, the next big blockbusters that are still on the schedule are Christopher Nolan's Tenet for July 17th and Walt Disney's Mulan July 24th. Still
no chance.
Probably not happening.
I would say I like the idea of movies being able to watch movies when like instant release video on demand. I do like that idea.
Yeah.
But I do still think the movie going experience, especially for big movies, is still something I like.
Well, come on, variety is the spice of life.
Right.
You want to, every once in a while, you want to get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah, there's nothing.
I mean, there was nothing for me that'll ever. I don't know if it'll ever be like watching Endgame in that crowded theater on opening night. And having the crowd reaction to it. It felt like watching a sports game.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is an experience you cannot recreate. On the other hand, it's a lot cheaper. Staying home, you don't got to put pants on, and you can enjoy a movie. But
you don't have to pay $5 for $5 for a water,
$7 for a candy bar.
What if this is the new norm? If you build it, they will come. Like, let's say, like, it'll behoove you to create a great theater experience in your house, and you can invite all your friends and have, like, your people that you like and watch the movie with them.
Well, that's the other thing is, like, giant HD flat screen TVs are pretty cheap. Like, everybody has them now.
Can you get a theater type screen? Like 1917. Yeah, that's a theater movie.
You can get a fucking small digital projector.
But if you sit real close, 32-inch, it seems like that.
Hold your
or if you take your phone and put it right up against your one eye.
Remember when you watched The Irishman on Netflix on your phone and Martin Scorsese got mad? Don't be watching that shit on the phone.
It's like, the Oculus Rift goggles?
Yeah, just put
your phone in there, and it's bigger than any screen that you can get.
I got a better idea. This is what we need to do. Just make theaters for single people. Just one person at a time goes into one theater, watches a movie. Next. How about that?
Like a peep show?
That's what they used to be called. That's what they used to be. That is not coronavirus friendly. Listener, let us know what you think about the feud.
Droplets.
Yes, there's droplets everywhere at the peep show. Oh my God. Then you got the jizz mopper guy. His job is just to mop it up. What a horrible existence. How do you put that on a resume? Listener, let us know who you think is in the right. AMC Universal. Join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. It's exclusive. It's closed. All of us are in there. We post crazy things. Like, for example, that you can watch. I made a reaction video this week, you guys.
That was hilarious, by the way.
Oh, thanks, Ruggs. Basically, Jason Dutch from Voice from the Underground posted on our Facebook group, hey, check out this crazy Sizzler commercial. You guys should review it. I'm calling you out. But I'm like, how do you review a commercial on a podcast? And you had to watch this thing. So I did one of those reaction videos that all the YouTubers are doing.
Nice.
And you can only find it at the Facebook group, on our Patreon, or the link in the show notes of this episode.
I thought it was fun.
Ooh.
Rumble improve.
That's the most.
You should wear a fedora while you do it.
Ooh,
as well.
I need I can't. I got headphones on. I can't.
Don't you have a fedora?
I do have a fedora.
You could wear the fedora underneath the headphones.
No, really? Maybe behind it.
Oh,
I'll turn them down.
yeah.
I'll check out.
For work, I wear a baseball hat and I put the headphones over the hat.
Baseball hat is different. It's a little tighter fitting.
True.
The fedora.
Shave your head.
I don't. Well,
then throw on the fedora.
Dude, that may have to happen too because I haven't had a haircut in like 6 weeks. So
me neither.
I like the whole like Spider-Man framing you on both sides.
Yeah, there you go. You can see my setup.
Yeah.
So join the Facebook group or check the link.
You got a bright red Jock and Nerd shirt on. It was great.
Check the show notes for this episode.
Can you, if we get enough listener requests, maybe if someone ups their donation to $15 a month, you'll do the next one with your shirt off?
No. that would take a lot more money, and you don't want to see that.
I think you should do more of those. Those are fun for me.
My shirt off? No, I'll leave my shirt on. No, I'll do more.
You can do them with clothes on.
It was
How about just a bra?
the bro's ear, the man's ear.
Put a man's ear on.
I reacted to it was a Sizzler commercial from the 90s, but if you guys have recommendations for other fun short videos, I have some, but I want to watch something I've never seen
let's
before.
make everyone watch fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Like really quick though, like not a whole movie.
I actually think this could be something here.
All right.
We might be onto something.
Jock and Nerd reaction videos could be a thing.
For Imran, that could be your niche.
Yeah, no one cares about me reacting.
The nerds react. Let's make it a thing, listener.
Like my facial expressions, I got one.
I like this. Let's make this a thing and send me suggestions.
And I'm too boring, so you would have to be the guy.
No, he had some screamers.
I had some good ones.
I laughed like audibly at least 3 or 4 times.
Oh my God, that's a good sign. All right, I'm going to have to do some more. Look for more Nerd Reacts videos from the Jock and Nerd podcast. Holy crap. You can't monetize on YouTube.
You have a job now, listeners. Send them some fucked up shit to look at.
Shit. All right, back to the news. Speaking of when theaters are going to open up, what are they going to do? You may have seen stories, I think there's like 20 states that are slowly phasing in openings of businesses with new crazy rules. Like, here's the thing I noticed. This is what's going to be a thing in stores and malls is you enter one way and you're going to have to exit a completely different way. Like,
that's already been a thing at grocery stores.
Yeah, I saw that put into a couple stores. I was like, oh, they cut that off so that you can't, pass people. And then you just got to follow the arrows and stand on the dots. But in Georgia, some of these theaters are opening up and some AMC theaters are slowly opening up and they have new guidelines, which I thought were interesting because it seemed like stuff they should have been doing already. So they said showings at movie theaters will need to be seated at least 6 feet apart. No party can be larger than 6 people. So, of course, it's going to limit theater capacity. They're probably going to tape off a bunch of sections. Ushers at the theaters will be required to help enforce social distancing. Tape will need to be placed on floors. Employees are required to clean every seat, armrest, door handle, handrail, and doorknob before and after each showing.
Oh, shit.
That's never happening.
No, it's not.
No, those guys are lazy as fuck. I used to work in the theater. It's not going to happen.
That high schooler is not doing that.
You're absolutely right. You think restaurants are fucking dirty in the back? I've known friends who've worked in theaters, and I've seen them just throw like a large Coke like on the seats and popcorn and then just walk away. Like nothing happened. They're not fucking taking the time to wipe everything
They're
down.
not doing it.
This is not gonna happen. This is not gonna work unless you hire some.
There's like 1,000 seats in that theater.
Another business that's gonna be big is like COVID-19 cleanup crews, like guys that can actually sanitize, like businesses that'll be like you're gonna have to hire all these like coronavirus sanitation companies.
Just wait for herd immunity. Just wait.
Yes, herd immunity will maybe get here
in a year.
But good luck, teenagers, cleaning every fucking seat. It's just, they should have been doing this already, and they barely sweep up, and that's why there's sticky floors all the time.
They used to have cloth seats in theaters,
right?
And they've made the move to like pleather,
vinyl and shit,
which is a little bit easier to clean. Because if you had cloth seats, there's no way you're getting shit out of there.
It's kind of nasty to even think about. We used to sit on those fucking cloth seats. Who knew? The fuck?
Imagine all the farts buried into those that foam.
Pee Wee Herman could have been jerking off.
Imagine all the popcorn you dropped on the chair and was like, I'm I'm gonna still eat it.
No, that just been ass blasted for like 1,000 asses. Just eating garbage, just blasting farts into that thing, and then you just put your popcorn.
Fuck, I've done that too.
And it
Nasty.
touched.
Yeah.
You basically have 1,000 farts on that piece of popcorn that you just shoved in your mouth.
Corn. It is now fart corn.
And that's why I have herd immunity, because I ate that popcorn.
Popcorn smells like feet anyways. You ever like when there's
I like popcorn.
where there's
Popcorn does not smell like
sometimes
feet. What are you talking about?
it does. When there's
Listen,
a lot of popcorn, it
I'll
smells
tell
like
you something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. Dog feet smell like Cheetos. I mean,
What?
What?
or tortilla chips.
Dog's feet smell like
Or
tortilla.
Fritos.
Fritos. Okay, like corn
This is a
chips.
strange
Go
turn.
smell a dog's foot. You're gonna smell Fritos.
I smell my dog's foot. It smells like a dog's foot. I don't know.
All right, look, just do it. Get a Frito in your hand, a Frito Lay, and get your dog, and then see if you can tell the difference. I challenge you.
Oh God, no! Look, I used to like popcorn. I don't anymore. Sorry to all the popcorn lovers.
I like popcorn.
I like popcorn.
I like making popcorn.
Oh, do
You
you?
ever make popcorn?
you can make popcorn.
You can make
You take little kernels and you put it in a pot. You watch them pop.
Fuck those kernels. They get stuck in your teeth. It's the most annoying thing. Who thought this was a good experience?
Oh, I know why you don't like it.
Yeah.
It's the I fucking
You
hate.
just gave it away.
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to like.
You had to get a
popcorn.
whole new set of teeth because of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even before they would get
Well,
stuck
you
in
weren't
your teeth.
flossing.
But yeah, well, it's full of popcorn. That's what the problem was. My teeth are full,
Oh, shit.
full of popcorn.
So now
Right.
your whole entire
I'm done.
theory falls apart.
Done with the popcorn.
Have we ever talked about the fact that you don't have real teeth?
Well, I don't know. It's, I have. They're called implants, people. They're better than real teeth, but now everyone knows. Thanks, Anthony.
Let me tell you about Tony. All right, Tony ruins lives.
Can you feel when you chew on stuff? Do you know that something is in your mouth?
Yes, I know when something is in my mouth. I'm not numb, but I will actually bite your finger off if you put it in there because I
Right.
can't.
'Cause you don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I've bitten the dentist a little too hard, and she's like, "Watch." Anyways, how do we get to my teeth? The fuck? Back to these notes here. The Venom sequel has a new release date. You motherfuckers. Sony.
I didn't do anything. You hung yourself out to dry, Imran.
I'm pumped. Yeah, me too.
I was just here when it happened.
You were a witness. You were a witness. Wait. Okay. Look, I want to talk about the Venom sequel because
Talk about it.
It was going to come out October of this year. Yeah.
No chance.
No, it's now coming out June 25th, 2021, and it has an official title. It is called Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
This is going great.
Sounds like a 90s comic book.
Exactly. It's the shitty title perfectly fits the shitty 90s.
Maximum Carnage.
Yes, let there be carnage. So we know we're getting carnage, obviously. But
It just should have been called Venom 2 Carnage.
Venom 2, Carnage 2. Venom, Carnage 2. Venom, Carnage as well. I don't know. Carnitas? Should be called Venom 2 with Carnitas.
Carnage Asada.
Carnage, that's where I was going. Carnage Asada. Nailed it.
I've used that joke in the
So
past.
horrible title. Yes, let there be carnage. But also Spider-Man Homecoming, Doctor Strange 2 have now moved dates. The Spider-Man Homecoming threequel, the third movie, is now going to be on November 2021. And Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is now March 25th, 2022. Whatever. It doesn't matter. All these movies are just pushback. Yes.
I was just going to say, it doesn't fucking matter because
No.
we don't even know when the economy is really going to open up.
Everything is a mess right now. So, like, release dates are completely irrelevant.
They're just placeholders. We don't know.
It's all just in the air. We may or may not get fucking movies at all. A big tentpole movie. Here's somebody who's changing their tune, though, due to the coronavirus. It's the Oscars, Anthony.
Oh, yes. I've heard about this because I'm big on the Oscars
You've
now.
been watching, we'll get to that. We've been watching a lot of Oscar movies lately, and now they will allow streaming-only films to be eligible for the Academy Awards for the first time just for this year.
Yeah, before that, you needed to have like a couple, like a week or two run
Yes.
in a major city before you could
Which
have.
is why Irishman came out
Right.
and Roma would come out for like a month
Right.
just to qualify. But now, you're not like Code 6 Underground or whatever could be nominated.
I mean, anything that's going to be nominated is probably going to be released video on demand.
Yeah. And there's a lot of great, I mean, if you're talking about original movies from Hulu and Amazon and Netflix, these are all now up for an Academy Award.
Netflix is jumping for joy.
Dude, yeah, and they were killing it already. Slowly, every year, more and more nominations. And now they could kill. So good for the Oscars. Let's see if it sticks. It probably won't.
No, I don't think it's gonna. It's gonna revert back to what it was once it's more normal to go back to theaters.
Ruggs, you got any comments on this?
What, on the Oscars letting stream films?
Yes.
I mean, they really have no choice. I mean, there's movies that need to be released, and it'd be, what are they going to do? Like, get shuffled over to the next possible year? No, it doesn't make sense.
You're not going to have a show. Like, there's going to be nothing to nominate.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, so it makes sense. I mean, look, we're in unprecedented times.
Yeah.
Things are going to be different.
For what it's worth,
okay.
Included in that announcement, not that I don't think very, very many people give a fuck about this, but I suddenly care because, again,
Oscars,
I'm now Mr.
movies.
Oscar.
Yes, you are.
Sound editing and sound mixing has been merged as one category. It's now just best sound.
Oh, that was two categories: sound editing and sound
Well,
mixing.
that saves about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, now the show will only run 3 hours and 30 minutes long.
And for what it's worth, sound mixing and sound editing, I think last year they were different winners. So one less winner.
One less winner, but easier.
That's true.
Maybe easier to pick.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, when you just say best sound,
That could mean
it's
anything.
like, could it be a great soundtrack? Could it be a great score? Could it be a great...
What do you think about this, though? Like, that they're hacking away at things and they're kind of like taking away categories or just lessening things?
I think it needs an update and a streamline.
You think that just people are not going to tolerate any kind of bullshit anymore? Like redundancy?
I just think sound editing and sound mixing, me, the dumbass guy, I didn't know what the fuck the difference was. So I think they were just trying to eliminate confusion.
I mean, it's only going to affect like the hardcore movie geeks and sound geeks, and the industry
as long
people.
as that there is a ancillary acknowledgement somewhere else. Like, I think they have like a bunch of Oscars that are not on the main show.
Yeah.
As long as they get their Oscar, even if it's not televised, I think it's fine.
I think that might be incorrect. I think they televise everything, and there was.
Well, they're not going to do that separate show.
Yeah, no, I think they've always televised everything, and there was a lot of uproar because they wanted to stop televising, like best short or best short film or best animated, and there's so much uproar. So I think actually everything is televised, which is why the Oscars are so goddamn long.
Well, I think that let me correct you. I think that there was a special effects Oscars, like a technical Oscars.
Okay. There's a technical
that's
awards.
separate.
Yeah.
Am I right or am I wrong?
I don't know. I think he's right. There's a Oscars.
I don't trust
technical
Imran, so we're gonna
presentation.
undecided.
Someone look it up. But look, listen.
All right, you guys look it up.
Somebody
and
look
put
it up
in the show notes.
Look, this Oscars been running for over 100 years. You have to every so often streamline your fucking categories and change things, add new things. I mean, I'm still waiting for like a motion capture category, and that would be great because there's a lot of great stuff being done there.
Sure.
So there is a technical award. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I'm looking it up.
Somebody is screaming at their podcast. Okay, well, you look it up. Yeah.
The one guy that cares more about the Oscars.
Yes.
Here we go.
Mr. Oscar. Give us the rug down, Rex. Am I right? Yes.
It's called the Oscars Scientific and Technical Awards.
A separate presentation.
Yes, it's a separate presentation.
At a
It's not the Oscars,
formal dinner.
But it is Oscars.
Yeah.
It is done by the Oscars.
It is done by the Oscars.
What a grouch. Bitch, I live in a trash can.
The Sci-Tech Awards.
You got any smack, Bert? Sorry. Jesus, he just got us into a Dave Chappelle sketch. Remember how we talking about there's nothing new on Disney Plus? Well, they're releasing something new that's kind of cool on May 4th, which is traditionally Star
Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. And it's the premiere of the 8-episode docu-series called Disney Gallery, The Mandalorian. Geek Boner. It's all about them making the show. And even in the trailer, you see where they talk about the projection screen, and you kind of see how everything's a screen and how people were like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Is that really something to be jazzed up about?
Well, you can also see behind the scenes stuff of Baby Yoda and how the show was put together.
So I'm getting deleted scenes. I'm getting the special features.
Yeah, but then there's a roundtable of all the directors and cast sitting around sharing story. I love stuff like this. I think it'll be a good docuseries.
I mean, it was good for a laugh.
Yeah, for a laugh to hold you. Well, it's something clearly to hold everyone over until the second season of Mando comes on sometime in October, I think.
Yeah, really, this really does nothing for me, but you know that I don't like Star Wars.
I know you don't like Star Wars, but many people do, Anthony. A lot of our
course.
listeners do, and they might like this next bit of news. Also tying into Star Wars Day, ReedPop, the company that puts on some of the biggest conventions across the country, like C2E2, New York Comic Con, and Star Wars Celebration, they're hosting they're calling it an online revelry. May the 4th be with you and Revenge of the 5th on the 4th and 5th. It's kind of like a 2-day online Star Wars celebration event where they'll be live tweeting movies and then you'll have a Q&A with actors and writers, and fans can take part in trivia quizzes, giveaways.
Will there be lightsaber battles done by virgins?
There'll be virgin lightsaber. How is it a Star Wars celebration if you don't have virgins doing
or incels? Either one.
You gotta have incel lightsaber battles. Very important. But
those are my favorite in every convention.
I've seen a lot of these virtual conventions popping up here and there. And this one, I think for Star Wars fans, will be really cool.
I'm already looking at the next fucking thing, and this is hilarious.
This is the best thing. I wanted to wrap the news up with this, talking about Disney Plus, where you can see all the Star Wars movies, you can see all the Marvel movies, but the one thing you can't see is Daryl Hannah's butt.
Oh, shit.
What a travesty.
There's no butts on Disney Plus. Yes, I'm a little bit upset. So, in the movie Splash, Anthony, you ever seen Splash?
I think I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Fuck, it's a great movie. Young Tom Hanks. Daryl Hannah is sexy as the mermaid.
That one clip of the guy at the Statue of Liberty?
No, what?
No.
I'm gonna put the link in.
Somebody noticed that there's a scene at the end of Splash where Daryl Hannah is running off into the water, and you can see her ass, and it's a great ass. And I remember watching this as a kid going, oh shit, you're gonna see her butt. But now, if you watch the movie on the Disney Plus, you will see some really bad CGI'd hair like stuck to her ass, not moving. What does that look like to you, Anthony? Does it look good?
Well, actually, the clip I'm seeing of her ass, they still had it covered up.
Yeah, the hair went down.
They just like add more hair to cover, like even like her cheeks are showing.
So you
but,
see
like,
the
there's
bottom
no crack.
of it. Right, you see the bottom of it a little.
But it looks the clip of her with more hair, it just so bad. It looks like they Sasquatched her ass.
Yes, it looks like Chewbacca's pubic hair taped to Daryl Hannah's ass. Like, why?
Oh, shit.
So,
all right, I got the clip.
Okay. Disney, there are other movies that they have censored on Disney Plus. So, this one someone just caught and was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Play the audio. It's great. Because he's doing the thing where he's talking about the Statue of Liberty, and he's saying the same thing over and over again while she's getting out of the thing.
Yeah.
And finally, she guts up to Ellis Island, and the guy who's saying this like spiel about the Statue of Liberty sees her and then fucks up his spiel.
The statue is a gift from French citizens and has come to symbolize hope for naked women everywhere. Bocce balls! Hey, come on. Hey, don't be doing that.
That's where they see it.
Bocce balls. In that scene, her butt is clearly visible, so I wonder if they had to have edited that too in the Disney Plus
Why?
version.
It's just some person's butt.
Yeah.
Like, you take them to a museum, you see butts all over the place.
Yes, you do.
You take them to the Met,
yeah.
There's asses in every fucking corner.
All the Renaissance paintings and sculptures, the art museum.
There's nothing wrong with an
Come
ass.
on, Disney Plus.
Let them see the ass. It's fine. Lame.
It's fine. Great. Listen, before we take a break, you guys, we got a shout out. We have a special sponsor for this month, a returning sponsor. You may remember them. It's Manscaped.
Oh, these are my favorite ads.
Back for this month. Of course, the company that offers precision engineering tools for your family jewels. You may have remembered a few months ago with our Big Heads Media Network, we had a month-long Manscaped promo where they had sent us the Lawnmower 2. Well, this time, listener, they reached out to us, and we have our own code that is live right now. If you go to manscaped.com, use the code Jock and Nerd, you will get 20% off and free shipping.
Yee.
And Anthony, they are sending us the Lawnmower 3.0.
Fuck yeah.
I like my lawnmower 2.0 that we got from before.
I don't know how much better the 3.0 can be. The 2.0 is pretty good, but
if it shaves your balls for you,
yes. Do I not have to do anything? I just stand there and I go, balls shave, and then it just goes.
If it cups my balls while they're being shaved, then I'm
one can only dream.
I need it to have voice commands like shave balls now, and then it just goes. It does it. But the code is live in the next few weeks. We will tell you how awesome the Lawnmower 3.0 is. We should have it soon.
I would like my balls to have a 5 o'clock shadow.
You can do that. It comes with trimmers in different sizes.
Yes. I want it to be distinguished. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. This is a trial run for this month, and then if it goes well, they're going to extend it. So, listener, we need your help to make us look good to Manscaped during the month of May. Everyone, just buy something. Use the code Jock and Nerd.
I know people are rocking the Amazon forest down there. You definitely need to trim.
The time is now, people.
Yeah.
Your balls will thank you. And with that, we're going to take a quick break and return and actually review a new fucking movie for once. I can't wait. Right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Venice, and I've got a message from a friend of mine about my favorite podcast.
It's your boy, Flavor Flav in full effect. Check this out, everybody. I want y'all to go check out TJ.
What's good, everybody? TJ Johnson here from Voice from the Underground. I am the most handsome.
Big Has.
And I'm smoking my cigar, of course.
You know what I'm saying? The Dutch.
You pick me up in an Uber and a PT Cruiser, I'm calling Lyft.
Cause they be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying?
And we're not even that good.
Right, we're terrible. Terrible. Tangents all over the place.
And not only that, but they be keeping it fun with the sports, music, comics, and movies too.
Am I allowed to talk?
I think, no, not right now.
Shut up, colonizer!
You know what I'm saying? He on Twitter at VFU Podcast. So you can find them. So check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy.
Okay, what Flav was trying to say is, check out Voice from the Underground on your favorite podcast network.
Voice from the Underground.
My name's Donnie, and I host the Adulting with Donnie podcast. I started this show as a way to offload some of my thoughts every week, and I quickly found out that I wasn't really alone in those thoughts, and I was connecting with other people who kind of felt the same way as me. So join me each week as I pour some whiskey and offload some thoughts about news, entertainment, politics, just whatever might come to my head during the week. So that's the Adulting with Donnie podcast, and you can find it anywhere that awful podcasts are served, and also great podcasts.
Doc and Nerd.
Listener, if you're enjoying the show, you should definitely join our fan club. Just visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. There's multiple tiers, multiple awards, but for as little as $1 a month, everybody gets bonus content and early access to the weekly show in an exclusive podcast feed.
Jock and Nerd.
Just for our supporters. Coronavirus still out there. Corona binge reports still flying out of our Patreon feed. Anthony,
yes,
get us updated. What have you binge watched this week?
Well, since we last recorded?
Sure.
Okay. I've done 12 Years a Slave, Extraction, which we're going to talk about.
Yep.
I did an instant reaction to that. The Hurt Locker, Shape of Water, Spotlight, and I did Arrival. And there'll be more to come probably before the show posts.
Oh, absolutely. Quality movies there. It seems like you're going through Oscars past last few years, right?
That is what I'm doing. I'm going through Oscars past.
How do you feel about it, Anthony?
You know, I actually really enjoy them. I think I've enjoyed mostly all of them, and I haven't given a low rating to really any of them. I feel like I'm getting more cultured in terms of watching really good movies.
I saw your ratings post on your Instagram, and a couple of it was surprising. But these set of movies are great. It's like when the Oscar gets it right.
Now, the question is, are you ready to be challenged?
Well, I felt like Birdman was pretty fucking challenging.
Birdman's
for me.
challenging.
Oh, that's definitely a challenge. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like the most, but it's definitely it's in that wheelhouse.
Right. And the one I just watched recently, Arrival.
Yes, let's talk about this for a second because I've seen this movie. And it's a very divided opinion. And I actually kind of enjoyed the movie.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Some people fucking hate this movie. Like, it falls in with, like, Interstellar and, I think, Annihilation. These sci-fi movies that have, there's always the twist ending. But I really liked
Ruggs, have you seen Arrival?
Of course.
No? What'd you think?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very... When you get into this stuff... When you get into like the quantum realm and the infinite possibilities of things and time and how
it's like Interstellar.
It's meaningless and how somebody who's advanced that like we're like not that advanced in the grand scheme of things, but we understand that there is a possibility of this stuff, and then there's possibly beings that understand the universe way more than we do, because they're either they're older or whatever, or they've evolved. That's all fucking fascinating shit to me.
That point of view is really interesting. Yes,
and you got to understand that there's like people in the science world that fucking they live in this fucking land all the time.
Yeah,
and we just get to get a little glimpse in these movies. They pepper a little bit of this shit in the shit that unravels your entire space and time, the way you perceive it.
Yeah, similar. It also reminded me of Contact, where in that movie they did a lot of research and talked to a lot of scientists, and Gravity was the same way.
It reminded me, I said it in the review, but I'll say it here as well. And for what it's worth, I put these movies out on my Instagram, and I'll have people message me like, yeah, that's a good movie, or that movie sucks. Yeah. I got a lot of people like, oh, Arrival, I don't like that movie.
Yeah, a lot of people don't get this movie.
But without spoiling anything, the scene where you kind of reveal everything, it reminded me of Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen.
Oh yeah,
in the TV series where he can sense time, time to him. He's living in the moment.
He's living in all of time, which is a crazy thing. You know, it's funny. Seth Morgan just commented on the Patreon of the Arrival. He says, "I literally fell asleep for probably 40 minutes in the theater." So some people don't get it. Now, Ruggs, you also put up a Corona Binge report for Sonny Chiba in 1974 Street Fighter.
Did you listen to that?
I have not. I want to watch the movie again.
Oh, what a crazy fucking movie.
So Fiddlesticks Winterbottom left a comment on our Patreon post for that Corona Binge report. He asked, Ruggs, did you watch the original X-rated version? I'm thinking you didn't because you didn't mention the eye poking or throat ripping and the best or most shocking scene in the movie. Remember the scene where he ripped the guy's Frank and Beans off?
Oh, shit. No, that's the version that I've seen.
All that happens. That's great. I got to watch this again.
Listen, I can tell you this movie is not, I don't think Anthony can fucking roll with this movie. It's just, the hero of the movie is despicable.
It's not gonna...
he's a terrible man.
I can't in good conscience root for this protagonist.
I fucking love it because it's so, there's no fucking way that, how did this movie even fucking, it's a response to exploitation films where you following the pimp or whatever. Yeah. This is just great. It's like Taxi Driver, but it just makes no sense. There's no Taxi Driver. There's at least a commentary on this. This guy's fucking mentally deranged.
Yeah.
In this movie, it's just no, he's the hero of the movie.
We should watch it, Anthony. I can't believe I still haven't rewatched Street Fighter. I'm going to do it this week because
I've never seen it.
Oh, I guarantee
it's on the Amazon Prime. Good stuff. jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Sign up. Get all that stuff. You would also, the supporters saw my reaction video first because I put that there as well. Let's get to this week's movie review. It is Extraction, made by Netflix, put out on Netflix. Here's your spoiler alert.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
Before you start, Imran.
Yes.
I think we all, we'd have to check the tape or the audio. Yeah. But I think we all kind of agreed last week that we didn't give a fuck about this movie.
Yes, when I broke the news, I was like, oh, look, Russo brothers, it's a mini Marvel reunion, Hemsworth. And you're all like, nah.
Yeah. And then I ended up watching it randomly, and now we're all reviewing it this week, which is how the world turns.
Look, first of all, I'm super excited that we could talk about a new released movie. That is something that's been missing. Talking about old movies is great. But in this new world, like, this is a big release for Netflix right here. Like, this is a big action movie that could easily been in a theater. But it's caught a lot of buzz this week, and it was made for $65 million. That's your Netflix subscription money, people, going to make this movie. It is on Rotten Tomatoes, 66%. Average rating 6 out of 10. And, we don't have any box office, obviously, but the movie is based on a graphic novel called Ciudad, which I believe is Spanish for city, right? I think.
Ciudad.
By Andre Parks, Joe and Anthony Russo, Fernando Leon Gonzalez, and Eric Skillman. So this is based off a graphic novel the Russos wrote. And like I just mentioned, it's a little bit of a mini Marvel reunion. It is produced by the Russos and Chris Hemsworth. It is written by Joe Russo, based off his graphic novel, and directed by Sam Hargrave. In his feature debut, Hargrave was a stunt coordinator for the most recent Marvel Avengers movies, second unit director on Infinity War and Endgame, and doubled for Chris Evans in The Winter Soldier and The Avengers. So here you have a stunt guy essentially directing a movie. And as you'll see, it makes a difference.
We've seen this before.
I was just going to mention that this type of movie probably would have gone straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Or, something like that in the past. But with the success of John Wick, I think, who was a stunt coordinator who first time directing.
Yeah.
This movie's kind of got similar buzz.
Yeah, and it shows. Also starring in this movie, of course, you got Chris Hemsworth. You got Rud Rakesh Jaiswal. We're going to have a lot of Indian names playing the kid Ovi. You have Randeep.
I want to hear you say these correctly.
Randeep Huda as Saju, who's the kid's uncle, sort of. Wait, who else should I mention?
Just do all of them.
Shivam Bichari, Piyush Kati. We have Arti Kulkarni, Umkant Patil, Parveen Indu, Swapnil Kokam.
Ooh, that's the best one.
This is like the winners of last year's spelling bee. Pangjach Tripathi, Neha Mahajan, Palas Prajapati. Even some of these are I love all these.
I don't know where the one name starts and the other one ends.
And David Harbour.
Oh.
Yes.
Lame. That's a lame name.
Cameo from another Marvel guy we're going to see in Black Widow, David Harbour. So, Ruggs, I'm going to have you actually give us the plot of this movie that takes place in Bangladesh. Unless,
all right, so
go ahead.
Thor is a dude who is kind of brooding, and as far as I know, he's some kind of mercenary.
Okay.
And this drug lord who's competing with another drug lord, direct competition, kidnaps one of the other drug lord's sons. So all of a sudden, they need a mercenary to go retrieve and rescue this dude.
Perform an extraction.
And I was very upset that there was no dentistry in this movie.
There's no wisdom teeth being pulled.
No.
There's no nitrous gas.
There's no laughing gas involved. But anyway, so of course they call Thor up, and Thor has to go perform this extraction with his team. Now, what happens is the dude who has the drug lord who has his kid kidnapped, he goes and taps this other dude to go grab him as well. So there's two competing guys that are trying to get this kid to safety.
Meanwhile, the other drug lord has the police in his pocket, so they are caught between all of the police and military in Bangladesh and Saju, the other guy.
Thank you for letting me finish.
From the thing. I thought you were going to leave that part out, Rux, honestly.
No, but that's fine. So there's a lot of bullshit that ensues of people like not being whose side is everybody on, but it doesn't matter what the plot is because it's action from here on out.
It is. It's just a way to get you from A to B. Shoot your way through the credits. Anthony,
yes,
you were down on this movie. What was your initial thought after the movie ended?
Well, you can get my instant reaction on Patreon.
That's right.
But my initial thought was, wow, that was very entertaining.
Right?
That was some good action. I don't know how you guys have seen more action than me, but I was like, wow, there's not a ton of plot here.
Yeah.
And there's not really a ton to sink into as far as character depth other than maybe Chris Hemsworth's character. But, as far as the action, if you're going in and you want to see a fucking Rock'em Sock'em movie that's like a throwback to the 80s where it's just one guy against an entire fucking world.
Yep.
This is that movie.
And it's kind of like that's where the John Wick Man on Fire similarities come from. It's like you meet a guy, he's got a vague mission, and he's just got to get to the end by shooting his way through.
Yeah.
Huge body count in this movie, but they're all faceless dudes because they all have masks on. So at some point you're like, whoa, he's still killing these people. But I also came out of this going, holy shit, what the action was intense, was amazing. There is an amazing 12-minute chase action scene that is stitched together to look like a one take, a oneer. And it is fucking so impressive. And this is where you see this guy, Sam Hargrave's stunt experience really come into play. Because I thought, like you said, Anthony, old school action in the 90s, but you could follow a lot of the action. Everything made sense. Characters didn't jump around. The continuity was solid, which is really hard to do on an action movie, but we know the Russo brothers are good at doing that. Did you guys like Chris Hemsworth in this?
Well, wait, let me just say one thing about the action. I also want to kind of hear Rug Boy's initial thought.
Yeah.
But that one scene where he's in the apartment complex, and he's helping the kid and protecting him, and then the other guy, Sanju, is coming in to help, and you don't know what's going on, and then they're getting fucking bashed with cars. That literally felt like a fucking video game in all the best ways for me.
This scene is amazing because it starts with a car chase, and then they end up, and then there's a gunfight in a building. They go up the building, they're jumping to a roof over, they're tumbling off of the building, and then getting into another car, and there's a knife fight when they get to the street, and it's all one fucking take.
The one take where that's the spot where they zoom in, so you're in the car.
Yes, it just goes
and then
in
zoom
the car
back out, and you're out now watching the chase.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, what the fuck? How did they do this?
So, and it was pretty seamless. You could see a few spots where they could have an edit, but I watched, there's a making of little featurette online that I watched, and literally Sam Hargrave was sitting on the front of a car with a camera shooting all of this shit. He was in there. He was the one sweeping in and sweeping around them. He shot most of that, and he was the one that jumped across the building, because when the camera jumped with them across the building, I was like, oh shit, I've never seen that before, because now you're thinking of the camera guy and how this is working, and he literally jumped with them on a wire to get there. Ruggs, what did you think of the action?
The action was good. I mean, the action brought something new to the table. Now, this is a genre film.
Yeah.
It has this genre formula. It has, cliches all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. But it's a $65 million film.
Yeah.
All right. That is not what most Fast and the Furious is. You're topping the budget at $200 million.
Absolutely.
You don't need a lot of money if you know how to shoot something properly. And one of the reasons that they use those faceless guys is because that way you could just use the same guys over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And so they saved a shitload of money. They made this at a good budget. And I mean, the entertainment value that you get for $65 million is impressive. The action, obviously, if you put the action in a person who knows action's hands, you're going to get a John Wick.
Yeah.
You're going to get something like that and I'm glad that John Wick is one of the movies that broke this ground. That's why it's so important that we recognize John Wick and cause this is, kind of the product, the child of letting these stunt guys start to put these movies together. Are they the most cerebral, deep movies with great, rich characters? No, but they're entertaining.
Yeah, and the act,
right?
Yeah.
So you have to juggle what do you want to do when you go to the movies? Chris Hemsworth, he does a great job. I feel like that he put his heart and soul into it. I do think that the Russo brothers kind of soured him in a way, because I could never take him seriously, even in this movie. Even when I was trying his hardest, I'm still thinking of him being naked and getting hit with a basketball on his head, in Ragnarok. Yeah. Just stuff like that. I feel like I'm like, I still see Thor. I still feel like the typecasting in there. So, in one way, yeah, it's, I don't know. It didn't quite work 100%, but it's still he didn't slack on it. It's not his fault or anything. I can't really blame him. So I feel like it was serviceable. I'm very happy with this movie for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how does it compare I would just want because Ruggs watches a ton of action.
Yeah.
How does it compare to like the great action films in terms of fight choreography?
This is a very noteworthy film. I would say it does bring something to the table.
Wow.
I really think it does. I think John Wick. All right, so John Wick works because it's so over the top and cartoony. All right.
Yeah.
This dials it back a little bit, so it's not as unrealistic as John Wick. Because John Wick does some crazy ass shit, and he's still doing headshots and whatever.
Yeah.
And he's doing the same things here, but it's a little bigger in this. It's a little bit more like comic booky than it should be reality wise, but it's nowhere near as just like over the top as John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you're taking John Wick and you're bringing it down a little bit, but it's still got a lot of drama in there. It's still got some like fucking jaw-dropping things that happen, but a lot of these things are plausible.
I felt it was pretty gritty and pretty realistic. There's several action scenes, and I love the first one where he first gets the kid, and then he literally rakes a guy. His name is Tyler Rake, and he rakes a dude in the face.
Oh shit!
Just shoves his face.
He kills somebody with a rake.
Fucking brutal. And then the fight with David Harbour. You got two big guys over 6 feet going at it. Also very brutal.
My favorite fight scene, besides like the big one, is when he beats up the kids.
Oh yeah,
I love him beating up kids. Like just tossing them like rag dolls. It was great.
Bangladeshi child kid assassins after, and he's just slapping them aside and pushing them down.
I was laughing my ass off.
Beating up on little kids.
But you know what this movie needed?
Yeah,
I was slightly disappointed because it's like a woke '80s film in that like there's no like one-liners from Chris Hemsworth or anything, and he's like he's got a little depth where he's like kind of crying. So you would never see that in the '80s.
Yeah.
But what this movie really needed was a big boss at the end for him to fight.
Well, I think it was ironic. Like the guy playing the main bad guy, I thought was very good, but he never comes across any of them during the movie. Like
this is going to be a franchise.
Absolutely.
They left it. They left it dangling. I mean, the story ends in a way that they could just sew it up and never go back to it. But it's enough there they could keep going.
So it's interesting, Anthony, that you just said about Chris Hemsworth, because yes, he is in this a vulnerable action star, something that's unlike your Stallones and your Schwarzeneggers. But can he break out of Marvel? Can he be a legit action hero? His charm is one of his strengths, and I feel like they could have added some more of his charm in here to help his character.
Well,
but
I think they were that was on purpose. Like I think he wanted a role where he could do action, but he didn't have to rely on being a goofball.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's just my thought on it.
I feel like that it's still there though.
Right.
Like I don't think he's escaped it. Like I don't think there's that transfer. Like when you see like Jake Gyllenhaal or something, like he'll do a charming like romantic film, but then all of a sudden he'll be like a Nightcrawler,
right?
And you're like, oh my god, this guy's a fucked up crazy dude. You know, like he doesn't quite make the transformation.
I see that.
He's still Thor.
Yeah,
like in not in every way, but I'm thinking there's a big percentage of Thor still in there.
I mean, it's important the roles he picks, and we've seen him be funny in Ghostbusters, and then we've seen him really fine tune it in Avengers and Infinity War. But he could make a run as a legit action guy.
Like Keanu doesn't really transform himself either.
Yeah,
Keanu's played the same guy in every movie for a long time.
So I'm just saying, like we just for some reason have been okay with Keanu, like not as long as he's physically performing.
Yeah,
I think that's what we come to expect from Keanu, is that he physically puts himself into the performance. So I think that Chris did that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that 12-minute scene, they couldn't use stunt guys really. Like they had to do.
They probably did, but like they used him so well that we don't even really know where the stunt guy end and Chris Evans began.
A lot of
Chris. What Chris is this?
There's many Chris's.
Chris Hemsworth.
Many Chris's. But there's a lot of shots that it's the camera is a wide shot and you can clearly see it's fucking Hemsworth and that guy.
I mean, the only criticism I really had is like, you could have maybe done a little bit more character work.
Yeah.
I mentioned the boss, and then the other thing is you could have done maybe a little more to make the kid someone I gave a fuck about.
Well, they tried to do that.
The kid needed a lot more actually,
because he's got like an interesting thing where it's like he's the son of two drug lords and he's just being used as a pawn. Like, how does that feel?
Yeah.
How do you feel being like that? But really, the only thing they give you is, he likes to play the piano.
That's it. I mean, I thought him and Hemsworth had a good chemistry by the end of it. Like he did legit care for him, and they try to give you some character development at the top when he's hanging out with his buddies. But that's it, and he's just a package.
The way that I see it, and I don't know if it comes off as well in the movie because it does sometimes. It comes through, but then it's not. I don't think it's there enough. Is that he wants to die?
Yeah.
He says death wish.
Yeah.
But then there's something that keeps him. Well, the reason why he doesn't die is because of the kid. And then when the kid's safe, then he can die.
Right.
And you know, there's a couple of times where he walks into somebody shooting him, and then he's waiting for the gun to, and for some reason the gun fails, but he just doesn't do anything.
Well, and they give you that vague kind of, the thing where he's remembering his dead kid and it's blurry, and they just every so often remind you, and you're like, oh, he must have had a kid die. And then you find out what happened. And then, it's nice that they tie it up at the end. Some other things I love the India-Bangladesh setting. Not India, Bangladesh, right, Anthony?
It's Bangladesh.
Dhaka. You don't see a lot of, action movies take place there. And I could understand a lot of what they were saying. They were speaking in Urdu. I was like, oh, I don't even need the captions. This is great. I loved, so that dude Saju, his role was a little confusing because he was working for the kid's dad, and then he was told to snag the kid from the extraction team. But
no, that wasn't it. He was working for the dad, but they didn't have enough money.
They weren't going to pay him
to hire the mercenaries to get the job done. So he lied and said that you have to go get the job done to pay it. He basically made the mercenaries do all the dirty work, and then his plan was to capture him from the mercenaries and never pay the mercenaries
and stiff them. But
it's a little convoluted.
It's a little bit convoluted. Yes.
Whatever.
I mean, I understood the whole thing.
Yeah. It was a little confusing. But Saju, by the end, this dude is fucking badass. Like, you could see how much he cares for the kid. And then when they finally team up on the plan on the bridge, I was rooting for fucking Sanju. I was like, go. I thought that was, and he looked great. It was a great character and great physicality from that guy.
No, they brought. I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised by the whole film. It was one of those where I'm like, I want to see what this director can do with like more growth. Like, this is a good first film under his belt.
Yeah.
Like, with more refinement. Like, I want to see what else he could put out, and maybe like if he like even invests in like a good script and maybe where there's good character work in there, maybe like he could really knock one out of the park in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt that he's got the Russos around to help and ask questions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this movie is all funded because it only happens because of the Russos. This is a straight to DVD film without them.
But I could have
I think the Russos were like, this is my theory. The Russos started working on these Marvel films, and he was their guy.
Yeah.
Right.
He was completely contributing. So all these movies where they have these like Winter Soldiers, that kind of, some of the best action scenes in Marvel is in the Winter Soldier movie.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, they're like, oh, this guy is fucking got something. So he wants a movie. Let's fucking do that. And then we'll all fucking work together and we'll fucking cement this relationship together. That's how Tom Cruise was with Macquarie.
Yeah.
He found a guy that like, oh, he contributes and he really is. He makes me look the best that I ever have. So I'm going to keep working with this guy.
Well, the Russos are also doing that with the Marvel movie actors. So they're a production company. They've been producing these side projects. Like they did one with Chadwick Boseman. This one, they pulled Chris Hemsworth. They have a couple other things. So they're producing these non-Marvel movies that they want to make and pulling in Marvel talent. And
I think this is the best Netflix release that I've seen.
So I was just going to say this is better.
I mean, I agree. Action wise, you have like Marriage Story, which is a great movie as well. But like,
it's better than Code 6 Underground and Bright, which would be their two comparable action movies that Netflix made. I definitely think it's one of their best action movies they have put out to date.
6 Underground was so cliche and a joke of itself.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's Michael Bay.
It's bombastic and it cost way more than this.
Yeah.
But this is more of like, look, half the money that you had, I'm filming in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
I'm like not using any I don't have any supermodels half naked in this movie.
Yeah. It's all action.
I mean, I would welcome it, but like still.
All action.
So like he's really like, my centerpiece is I'm going to take Chris Hemsworth and I'm going to show him how badass he can be. And I'm going to introduce these new characters that no one's seen before. Like these guys, we've never seen these actors before. But now I want to see more.
Well,
even though I can't understand what the fuck they're saying.
Well, here's another great name. The girl who played Nick Khan, her name is Golshifteh Farhani. She's kind of a rising star. Has been in a couple of things, and we'll probably see. She was really good. I love the kid. I thought he was great when he killed fucking David Harbour. That was an amazing scene, and you just see on his face like the fucking kid got a kill. That's how huge the body count is in this movie.
Back to back, I watched this and I watched Rambo.
Oh, Rambo Last Blood.
That's a good back to back.
Is this better than Rambo?
This Rambo can't even get close to this movie.
Oh my God. I don't even want to watch that.
Not even in a million years. I mean, does Rambo have Stallone in it? Yes. Does Rambo have
72-year-old Stallone?
Yeah. But I mean,
he's still jacked.
Stallone.
He's jacked.
It's still Stallone.
Anthony, you said that this would have been straight to VOD or DVD. I disagree. I could have seen this movie in the theater.
It would have not made any money.
No?
I don't think it would have done first off, the title right alone is a straight to DVD title.
Extraction. It is kind of vague and generic.
This is not the type of movie. I would disagree. This is not the type of movie that is suitable in this time for a movie release.
Like if it was 15 years ago, you could put this out.
I see what you're
in
saying.
The theater.
I see what there's a lot of
we would have all went to this.
Yeah, right. Fucking crazy.
Like because we went to see action movies back then. But we didn't have Netflix at home at that time.
I also think like although John Wick is kind of bringing it back, there's like a missing, like the viewing public the last maybe 10 years, maybe even longer, just doesn't have an appetite for R-rated action films anymore.
See, this to me was refreshing.
I know, but this is like kind of like along with John Wick, like kind of bringing that back, that appetite.
Yeah. I mean, you have Atomic Blonde, which also I think.
That was a fun film.
Yeah. It's also, but I it's been a while since we've seen a good R-rated action flick, and this definitely satisfied that urge there. But let's talk about the end of a movie for a second, because there's some plans to make more. So the very end of the movie, the kid does get saved. There's a great big bridge scene. Chris Hemsworth shooting off the last guys. He thinks he's safe. Suddenly gets shot in the back by the one kid. That kid, Farhad.
In the neck.
Oh, yeah, right in the neck. And the bullet goes through. And it's this kid that's been after him, that's been impressing the drug lord. He's already cut off his fingers. And they rush back to get him, and he gives them a look saying, no, it's okay. Go, be safe. And I knew this was predictable. I was like, he's going to fall back off the bridge into the water. And of course, closes his eyes, falls back into the water, off the bridge. You don't see a body. Cut ahead to 8 months. The kid's in the swimming pool. This was another weird thing. He jumps in the swimming pool and goes and sits on the bottom, similar to how Tyler Rake did in the beginning of the movie. But how would the kid know this?
He doesn't.
Why is he doing?
It's just convenient writing.
You never saw him do it. Anyways, suddenly he's like, something alerts him underwater. He comes up and he turns, and in the background, there's a blurry guy that looks to be wearing military clothes. And then it just cuts to black.
Oh, shit.
Real quick, leaving it very ambiguous. What did you guys think of the ambiguous ending?
I think it's good. I mean, you could end the movie there, or you can have some more with Lee.
I agree. I mean, it's left to, how well this movie does for Netflix. But I initially thought it was just like he was kind of like dreaming that he was seeing him. But then one of my friends was like, it's clear he's back and they're doing a sequel. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's also what it could be. And probably going to be a sequel.
They could also do a prequel. I saw this article that they're either thinking prequel or sequel. But,
I mean, the formula is there. Just stick them in another country and let them go to work.
Have another, So, and I think it's nice for people who want him to be dead and want closure. You could still pretend he's dead, and that's fucking somebody else. But it was a nice little Easter egg, little cliffhangery thing at the end there. I thought. I would watch it.
All the movies have to be extractions?
Well, yeah. What is the next one going to be called? Distraction or retraction? What do you call Extraction the second?
Abstraction.
Another Extraction. Extraction 2, Electric Boogaloo. I can see this being a successful franchise, like a Mission Impossible. action thing.
I wouldn't go with Mission Impossible. It'd be like John Wick, Taken, right?
Yeah, like the Taken movies, which are all.
Yeah, I would say it's Taken level.
It is more Taken. You're absolutely right. Because
except not as many jump. Like Taken has so many fucking cuts within one fight
the worst editing and the worst.
Well, that's
improbable.
because you got a guy that's like 65 years old.
This is true.
But even like the scenes with car chases, like they just have these improbable things happen that you're like, that car would have landed flat. What the fuck? This movie made a lot of sense. I could follow the action.
I mean, real quick on that car, because it just sparked something. When both of those guys get smacked by cars, I audibly was like, oh my God. Like you could just feel it.
Yes. It's great. The camera's right there. You're with them. And then he gets up and hits him.
No, that's one of the things that I noticed from Winter Soldier.
Yes. That's the Russo style.
Like if you watch that scene where he beats up the kids, it's like Captain America. Beating guys up. It's the same exact thing.
They have a way to shoot the fights where you feel these brutal hits. Like, I don't know how they do it. It's just very solid, and you feel the hit.
Well, he's smashing heads into walls.
Yes.
It's just insane.
It's amazing. But he uses so many things. Like, he'll use stuff around. It was great seeing him use things that are around him, and knives, and guns, and whatever's around. Like the rake, he will just fucking use anything. It was fantastic.
I think this movie's part Raid Redemption and Raid.
Yeah.
And then you got John Wick. And I think if you marry those two films together, you can start to get this movie.
Yeah, you talk about like the hallway scenes. Like the whole movie's the hallway scene in this case, at least the middle of it. It does drag here and there when there's no action. You like get back to the
I
action.
saw one criticism that from like a woken person or whatever.
Yeah.
You want? I bet you could guess it.
Hold on, let me think.
It's a white guy that's going in to save everybody.
Save brown
white
people.
savior.
Yeah, white savior
like,
and the brown people. Yes.
I was thinking that too, but I mean, like, I was like, oh, when I was watching it, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be like the contention right here. Is that this white dude is going in to do something that no one else can do? But then
you had the girl,
you got
Nick.
But then you got the other guy, who's just as good as him.
That's where I'm like, Saju is also his equal, and he's a good guy.
Yeah,
so you think that there's a diversion where you're like, is Saju a bad guy?
Yes,
but he's also a good guy.
But then he turns around, he's like, he wants to save the kid too. That's where I got a little lost. But then when I realized what was going on, I was like, God damn! And this guy, he was a fucking badass, just a fucking badass. He looked great. All right, that's good. So let's see.
What would you rate it?
Let's rate it. I'm going to give it, I'll give it a solid 7 as far as action movies go. And Netflix, I think to me, this is a 7. Anthony?
I rated it a 7 as well on Patreon, I think. And I'm going to stick with that, either 7, 7.5.
Yeah.
You just have to go in with, like, you have to know what you're watching.
Yeah.
And if you go in knowing I want to watch a solid action flick, then you're gonna enjoy this movie. I don't see how you can't.
I mean, there is some masterful craftsmanship movie making here.
Very impressive for a first time director that's just was a stunt coordinator.
Yeah. And then a second unit director. Ruggs, what do you give it?
This movie is a genre film. It has a formula, and they follow the formula we've seen in many other genre films.
Yeah.
But what they do bring to the table is John Wick and all these others, like the Raid, have all like kind of innovated action, and this one kind of combines that.
Yeah.
And it does it for Netflix. It does it for a small budget. So I think that it is a important film for right now. Like this is what Netflix can bring us. So I think that the fact that this movie shines a light on it, it is kind of an important movie. So I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Nice.
So,
I do think the one thing it brings to action movies that nobody else has done yet is that one take. Traditionally, these huge one takes are in not action movies and kind of drama movies and other kind of productions.
Oh, Children of Men had it.
That one was pretty good. Yeah.
There was a movie that was a Jason Statham film that was done in all 1 point perspective.
Oh, that
the POV movie.
Harry?
No, not Crank.
Something Harry.
When he met Sally.
When Harry met Sally.
I'll look it up right now. Statham.
It was called. It was a name. It was like a adverb and then the name or an adjective.
I'll get it in 2 seconds. Just hold on.
But solid action movie. Coming up next for the Russos, this just announced they have working on the live action Hercules movie for Disney.
Oh no.
Russo brothers producing. And what's Hemsworth doing? He will be playing Hulk Hogan in a biopic next.
Oh, shit.
That actually would be... I remember talking about that. That I'm interested in. Who's directing that?
Written and directed by the guys who brought you Joker, Todd Phillips, Scott Silver.
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Yes, the
That
Joker,
could be really good or really bad.
I know. The Joker guys are bringing you Chris Hemsworth as Hulk Hogan. And it's for Netflix also. So that'll be a Netflix movie. That I will watch. I love Netflix biopics. Like The Dirt on Motley Crue. Fucking hilarious. Ruggs, did you find the title?
No.
You son of a bitch.
Is it the one with him and Jet Li? No, that's not it.
It's not any of the Transporter films, which I love the
I don't think it's a Jason Statham film you're thinking of.
It's not?
No.
Or maybe that he's not. There's nobody in the movie.
There's nobody in that movie. No. Well, because it's point of view. You never see the guy.
Hardcore Harry?
Yes, that's the one. You never see the guy. It's a first-person view the whole time. I tried watching it. It gave me a headache.
Hardcore Henry.
Hardcore Henry. That's it.
That's it.
It's the gimmick is too much for a whole movie.
And Sharto Copley is the lead.
Sharto Copley from District 9. Yes.
Yeah, when you shart in your
When you
pants.
shart. That's what you get. All right, let's finish up this week with a little what are we watching? Anthony, you got anything aside from the movies that you mentioned?
I have The Last Dance.
Yes, still very good. Dennis Rodman episodes were great.
Yeah. Oh my God, Dennis Rodman. For what it's worth, you would never see a fucking guy in the middle of a season take a vacation to Las
He's
Vegas.
like, I'm going to go to Vegas for 4 days?
Yeah, and he's supposed to he only supposed to be gone for 2 days, and he was gone for longer. And then they send Michael Jordan to pick him up, and he's got like Carmen Electra in his bed.
God, that was great. When Carmen's like, yeah, there was a knock at the door, and Michael Jordan was there, and I was trying to hide.
Jordan was like, there are all sorts of things that I can't say on camera that were going on in that bedroom.
Oh my
God, yeah, that was great.
That was great.
I have a Braveheart review coming pretty soon.
Oh, that's a
really?
Seth Morgan sponsored review.
Yeah, that's a sponsored one, and then
it'll be free.
I'm staying at least for now. Probably the next couple days, at least, maybe longer. Staying on Oscar-nominated Best Picture films, so that's where I'm at. I don't know exactly what yet I'm going to watch, but I always figure it out the day of, and then just put it on and go from there.
There's a point as you go in the past, these movies get really, you're not going to like them.
How do you select a movie? Are you just seeing what's available to you to watch, or how's it go?
I just buy them now, but I spend like the $3, but I've been going with Best Picture winners, and then I'll like look at what else was in contention, and I'll just like pick it, look at the poster, and go, okay, I'll try this one. Like I'm literally just flying blind on a lot of these now.
Okay,
yeah, just expanding the palette, seeing what's going to happen.
Wait till you get to like Driving Miss Daisy and fucking the Shakespeare.
I already saw
Love
Driving Miss Daisy. It was called Green Book.
Yes, that's exactly the same fucking movie, and why it's going to be nominated every time you make the same fucking movie.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go like deep in the 90s and like because some of those like
I'm
English
just waiting for him
Patient.
to watch some Darren Aronofsky films or some shit.
I got to
like
get
that.
to those. Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna get.
I don't want to watch. I don't think I want to watch the English Patient.
You're going to get
or
to
something
English
like that.
Patient. You're going to get a lot of movies with what's his name? Anthony, the British guy, who played Silence of the Lambs.
Bourdain, no. Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins playing British butlers. There's a bunch of like Oscar movies that are like English period pieces of Anthony Hopkins as a fucking butler. It's going to get a little boring.
He's forever Hannibal Lecter for me.
He is. Well, he's a bunch of good things.
Yeah.
What was it, Clarice? I've been watching. I wanted to know if you guys have been checking out the Saturday Night Live at Home episodes. They've aired two
Clips of here and there.
I gotta say I was very excited when they decided to do this. They've done two. The one a few weeks ago was like maybe like 40-50% funny. The rest of it wasn't. This last one got better, more percentage of funny bits. Of course, Weekend Update, always funny, and a lot of great guest stars. You had Brad Pitt playing Anthony Fauci, which was hilarious. He had some fucking great one-lines. Ruggs, what have you thought of this? Them adjusting to making these things at home.
Some of these things are funny, but I just feel like, you're limited, but you have to be creative. I don't know how far they could take it, but I feel like it's all about planning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You can get a lot done if you plan properly.
Yeah.
So I think that they could even take it even further.
They're still,
How are they doing it in Run? I don't watch any
so
SNL.
It's all taped. Everyone is taping bits and videos from home and coordinating, editing.
They're by themselves.
Yes, they're by themselves. And like this week, there was A.D. Bryant was with Kate McKinnon, but I believe they both filmed their parts on green screens, and then somebody went in and put them together in a video. But like Weekend Update, it's like watching a Zoom call. Like you have Colin Jost, Michael Shea up on the screen, and it goes back and forth. And it still kind of works. And of course, the musical performances, the guys just tape wherever in their studio, send it in. So it's all pre-taped. Anthony, 2 weeks ago, they did one of the most hilarious things I've seen. It was an animated bit. It was middle-aged mutant ninja turtles.
Oh shit.
And it was fucking hilarious. They're just there like washing their car, doing their taxes. It's like not exciting anymore. Yeah, it was so good. And the theme song was great. But they've had some great guests, and it's like, America needs baseball back. SNL is always important. I remember.
I like the Architectural Digest episode.
Oh, what was
installment?
What was that? They also.
I think they went to Beck Bennett's house.
Oh, that's
supposedly,
right.
if it was his house,
That's
or
right.
some other person's house. But he's just sitting there pointing out how shitty his house is.
They've hit all the things like Zoom meetings and TV stuff and all the things you would do, staying at home, being stuck in quarantine. They could milk it a little bit more, but you're right, Ruggs. At some point, you're gonna have done all the things that you could kind of do.
I mean, they could do a lot if they really stretch their imaginations in what they have. They could do a lot.
But I was gonna say, like 9/11. I remember when Saturday Night Live came back after 9/11, and how kind of important it was to show that, like, look, we're getting back to business. They were one of the first shows to come back.
Well, you want something that's timely.
Yes. Yeah. So SNL's back. It makes me feel a little bit better right now, and everything's all fucking crazy.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
I would check it out. So that's they're doing what they can, and it's getting better. Oh, Ruggs, what are you watching?
I'm watching a few things. Well, of course, I'm staying the course on Clone Wars. I don't know if this was the final episode, but it ended in a fucking awesome lightsaber battle, and Ahsoka Tano versus Darth Maul.
Awesome.
And it was fucking breathtaking, and one of the best lightsaber battles ever in all of Star Wars, I think. I would say it's up there in the top 5.
Damn.
So definitely check that out. I watched Rambo Last Blood. I did a Corona binge report, second installment to my film review thing, and I've touched upon some of the stuff today about films and genres and things like that, and formulas that they use and how you can spot
That's
them.
awesome. Thanks for sending that in. I will post that.
I just sent that in.
Westworld season 3, the season finale is coming up. The last episode was crazy.
Yeah, Westworld's building up. I mean, the action in Westworld, like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on, but the action
pretty
is
good
great.
season. I agree now.
And it's very dramatic and fucking thrilling. And as far as YouTube, I like to watch YouTube. So 2 things I watched on YouTube was Post Malone doing an entire Nirvana concert from his house.
Was it good?
With Travis Barker. I'm on a scale of 1 to 10. I probably give it like a 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Anthony, I was skeptical too, and I watched it, and the fucking guy did a really good job. They just straight saying the songs, his voice kind of sounds like him. I was like, I don't like you, but this isn't bad. It's actually pretty
wasn't
good.
like bowled over by it, but I was like, you know what? Good for you. You're playing a guitar. You're in a dress.
They played some deep cuts too. Like, I like the songs
Yeah,
they
you're playing not only the popular songs, other stuff that like maybe people don't know.
Yeah.
So I like that. And then I'm going to now confess that I've been watching not every single video, but here and there a video of this girl, this young girl.
Okay. This already sounds weird.
It does. It sounds really fucking weird, but there's this girl. Her name is Joanna Sedia.
Okay.
And the reason why she got on my radar is because she supposedly got like to 1 million subscribers, like really fast.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this girl doing? That's so great. So I'm like, I gotta fucking see this. So it turns out she's like this nerdy chick that she doesn't, the character might not be real, right?
Yeah.
This could be a made up character.
Yeah.
But supposedly she's just a girl who does her schoolwork and has no friends. So this is all she does is make these videos. So she's like this really weird person, and she paints paintings and she seems to be like really, and she only hangs out with her parents, and it's just like a slice of her life. And I just got fascinated by this. Like, people are watching this, and I was like trying to figure out why.
What's the name again? And is it real? Is this real?
I don't know. I have no idea if it's real.
What's her name?
Joanna Sedia. She's just like this like nerdy like high school girl that's making videos and like doing very memeable stuff. But she got 1 million subscribers, and I was like, I have to see how this girl got 1 million subscribers.
This girl is making more money than all of us combined. I'm pretty sure if she's got 3 million.
I have no idea, but she just took the fucking YouTube by storm.
Oh, interesting.
So
all right.
I was fascinated and I had to look it up and I watched. Some of it was entertaining.
Some
of it was funny.
Look at him.
Ruggs is watching a young girl. Good to know.
Pretty soon he'll be on TikTok.
Yes, Ruggs, when are you downloading the TikTok? We need more puppet dances on TikTok so Ruggs can participate. You can do those dances.
I know this is, I hate to admit this, but like I have to tell people what I'm watching. So
thanks for being honest.
Yeah.
See what I said to you. I'll put a link in the show notes. Listener, check it out. I don't know. You may like it. Anthony, any final?
You won't.
Any final words?
Any final words?
Yeah.
No, I got nothing.
All right. Well, leave us a rating and review at Apple Podcast, listener. Trying to get to 200. We're still at 119. We need more. Ruggs, where can the listener find you?
You can find me at ReallyRugBoy on Twitter.
Check the show notes for this episode, jockandnerd.com/326 for links to everything we talked about, how to stay in touch, how to subscribe, how to support the show, all that fun stuff. And tell a friend, share the show. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
We'll peep ya next time.
Fuck that show.
Bro, do you even podcast? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.